Tonight, Blazing Pedals and its ARCA Series makes its way to the Irish Hills of Michigan. As tonight, we get set for tonight's action to see where things shape up to start the round of 8 here on Green Flag TV. I'm Justin Prince, alongside me is Ed McCrow. Our producer this evening is Dustin Olas for this evening's coverage as we get set for a 120 lap race from MIS. So far this season, it's been eventful after we took a week off with Motegi with attendance situations there. We get ready to see how things fare out tonight, where we go near full throttle around Michigan. 24:48 are the stage ends, 120 laps the distance. This stage of the championship to see who battles it out for the title includes Michigan, Nashville, and California. So two milers are part of the schedule to close things out, Emmett, but 8 drivers will have a chance to battle for a championship.
Yeah, and we look at, Dalton Kilroe finally got back to his winning ways, winning last week at Motegi. But we look at the points right here, and it's going to be interesting between, you look there, there's Taylor Butcher, Benjamin Hunter, Lagoons, John Perkins, Brian Zimmerman, all trying to get into that championship four. And, this race, it could come down to fuel mileage, so definitely got to watch that fuel gauge and don't speed off pit road when you have to come in.
Yeah, a couple drivers ended up missing last week's race. That ended up costing them chances. That included drivers like Mark Arthur for the cut line coming into that race. That's the importance of being able to show up for the chance to win for a championship. But tonight, we have a busy one when it comes to trying to work your way around the racetrack. It's going to be like Pocono in theory here, Emmett. High speed, high draft. Try to situate yourself from there to try and get to the front. 20 cars have made their way to Michigan tonight to go fast.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Justin. And the thing about this track is, like you said, it's like Pocono. And, you can even throw Auto Club in there with the line that you run. With this track located in the Irish Hills of Brooklyn, Michigan, it is very unique. Seen some great finishes here. Like I said, though, a lot of those races were field strategy. And as you look right there, Dalton Kilroe goes to the top of the charts early on. But how about Larry Bell? We think about Larry Bell. He was fighting to try to get his way in at New Hampshire. And now look at this, Justin. After everything plays out, he's finds himself above the cut line. It'll be interesting to see if he can get into that championship four.
I'm keeping an eye on Larry Bell here, who tries to see where things shape up at the bottom board currently. Just 4 drivers to set times so far. About half the field has hit the racetrack. They have 10 minutes, remember, to set the fastest qualifying laps here tonight. Keep in mind, in final practice earlier on this evening, it was up in that session, Hunter Lagoons at the top of it, 37.5 over Larry Bell. So Bell did have good speed in practice. Gonna get good track position here tonight. This time by, the time ends up going only to 4th best, still a 10.5 off the pole.
Yeah, so he was 6th quickest in that first lap, so he did increase. Look for Larry Bell to be a factor tonight as well, Justin. Wow, Nicholas Moody.
Yeah, one of the part-timers to the top of the board. Only driver across the 37-second bracket so far. Keep in mind, it is cloudy, so there is potential for temperature shifts with the clouds over above the racetrack. So Tanner Marr we're keeping an eye on here, coming to end lap 1 here. Surprise took the apron there. It does slow you down a little bit right with that run to the start and finish line because of that bump. Not afraid to cut down, though. You'll expect to see that on the second lap as you see him trying to arc it.
Yeah, and Tanner Marr doing a great job. Just has got caught up in late race wrecks and has had good runs and showed great speed, but glad to see him out here, and hopefully he can get a good lap and have a great run tonight.
By the way, Ty Marasco, John Hunter Lagoons, Aaron Bonkover, and Cody Gibson. Currently the aero drivers on the racetrack for now. Trying to qualify, Tanner Marr does qualify up in the top 3. Here's Lagoons, 27 machine. Currently the 6th seed to start things off with the battle to see who gets to the championship 4. It's had good flashes of speed throughout this campaign. It's just been about trying to finish the job for him, Emmett.
Yeah, it's just been about, I mean, we go back to, he was so close at New Hampshire and running a very unique line, using that apron and really sliding it in the corner, and that's where his dirt racing background comes into play. But yeah, this kid right here, I mean, he's been on the verge of getting that monkey off his back, getting that first win. But we see right here, maybe he could do it today. He's got great speed. Right now, 11 quickest, but definitely look for Hunter Lagoons in this race.
Goons, one of 3 drivers who moved on to the round of 8, who are yet to get a win in 2025. Cody Gibson, one of the drivers again to watch for on speed here tonight. When we went to Pocono, was a threat. In fact, tied for the top seed when it comes to this round of the playoff. Already up in 4th position for his session here. The 7 looking fast on lap 1. Can he improve a couple 100s to get the pole on lap 2? John Perkins just sent the benchmark a little bit higher. Where will Gibson's time fall? It's going to be close. 37.962. Top of the board. Cody Gibson to the pole.
Yeah, of course, Gibson, I mean, it just shows, Justin, how big that win at Bristol was for him in that team. And now they're moving forward. And like you said, they're at the top of the chart, top of the points right now. Hopefully they can stay there. But right now they're in the championship 4. It'll be interesting to see how the points stack up after this race.
Yep, it could be an interesting time for some of the drivers here tonight. Just try to pace themselves. Brian Zimmerman trying to pace himself towards the front here on session. 2-second. Goes the 28. Good qualifying effort. 1/1000th off the pole, in fact. It was close to set the top benchmark. Kyle Wellman, Mark Arthur are the only drivers left to set times here with less than 2 minutes to go.
How about Chris Carroll going to the top of the charts? Chris Carroll, another one of them guys, you know, that as we see Mark Arthur making his run. Chris Carroll, you know, a winner of 2 races in the playoffs. So he's building on that momentum. It'll be interesting to see if he can carry that and get into that championship 4, because that 97 is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And then Mark Arthur, we talk about each and every week the beef between him and Dalton Kilrow. We got to keep an eye on that as well, Justin.
Yeah, Mark Arthur did confirm he missed the race last time out because he was dealing with COVID. So that's why, and as a result, wasn't able to move on the next round for the playoffs. Was a 3-time winner before that point. Can still contend for some wins here. He'll start 4th as he jumps up. Oh, how about how close it is for 2nd through 4th. 5 1,000 separate those spots in qualifying, as everybody has set times as usual. Mike Massengill does not like qualifying. He just likes to attend, and then that's about it. So let's take a look at the starting grid tonight. Remember, the 20 will be starting in 20th. But it's going to be Chris Carroll starting P1 tonight. Alongside him, Cody Gibson, 23 1,000ths is the difference. Brian Zimmerman and Mark Arthur are amongst the top 4 here tonight. Then it's John Perkins alongside Nicholas Moody. Trevor Harmon starts in 7th tonight. Kyle Wellman starting in the 8th position. Your top 10 is rounded out by Tanner Marr, and Ty Marasco returns to action just within a 10th of the pole.
Yeah, Aaron Bockover back in here in the 44 machine starts P11, and last week's winner Dalton Kilrow starts in P12. Then you find Matthew Kleinschmidt in 13th, lined up next to Chris Mackey in P14. Then you're going to find Brian Dees in the 17 Soul Stealer Chevy SS, lined up next to Hunter Lagoons in the 27 machine in 16. 17th, you're going to find Larry Bell in the 43 Five Kings machine, lined up next to William Bruton in the 83. And rounded out the field is going to be Mr. Taylor Butcher Benjamin. It'll be interesting, Justin, to see how Butcher Benjamin can work his way through the field, get those points, and possibly get into that championship 4.
So let's find out how things go out here tonight. Again, your stage is laps 24 and 48 here at MIS. It is fairly cool, in fact, today. 70 degrees the air temperature. 79 is the track temp with overcast skies. And that could actually go down a little bit throughout the day here at Michigan. What are some of your keys to victory tonight, Emmett, as we get ready to roll?
So this is going to be interesting with the overcast. There's going to be fast speeds. It's going to pick up unbelievable. There's going to be a lot of downforce, so you're going to have your car in the draft a lot of aerodynamic going. And then also when we think of Michigan, we often think fuel strategy, so you got to have enough fuel, get it on pit road so that you'll be there at the end and not run out.
Who do you think is going to come away with a win tonight?
Ooh, I knew that question was coming. You know what? We're going to go with the dark horse. I think Mr. John Perkins puts her in victory lane tonight.
So let's find out if Perkins is going to be the one to break on through. So far, Perkins has been a big part of why Two Dudes Racing has been one of the top team organizations in terms of the metric throughout the season. That wait for a while in terms of figuring out who that team standing side goes, but we can definitely tell you they've been the most consistent coming into the past month or so. So overall, where do you think things will stand once we get to the start? How do you see this start playing out? Do we see it being a choo-choo train, or do you see aggressive battling? What do you think?
I think the first 5 laps we're going to see them even each other out, but as we get closer to that stage break on lap 24, we're going to see some multi-groove racing, and it's going to be chaos on the track.
So the drivers now get their engines revved up. Some of the drivers on the outside line did not get fired up. But now we get all set to go here. Again, going to be interesting where things shape up tonight. The pair of Chevys start the front, then pair of Fords, then a combination of the two. The highest ranked Toyota is Trevor Harmon for the start. That will be down in 7th. Happy with us here tonight on Green Flag TV for Blazing Pedals ARCA Series competition. Chris Carroll, he's been one of the contenders as of late when it comes to race wins. He'll try and add to that legacy of his success this season here tonight. The 5-time winner starts on the pole. Pace car drops off. Waiting for Barney to throw that green flag up at the stand. Green flag is out. We're back underway. When it comes to Blazing Pedals, the action's intense. It's side by side to start. Good start for Chris Carroll. He leads the first lap over the field. Top 3 up on the top side. Mark Arthur got squeezed, lifted, trying to hold on to third on the outside. But so far, oh, look at this. We have some troubles in the back.
What a save.
Wellman was the driver, went sideways. Mackey is getting bounced around still too, but no one spins. We stay green.
Yeah, and they don't call Kyle Wellman the wheelman for nothing. What a save from Wellman right there. That could have been a multi-car record. So take another look at the replay right here. Oh, man. Woo.
Yeah, straight up turned down. It almost looked like in a Hartman's door. 30 wide for the race lead, by the way. Mark Arthur forced to back out of it. Gibson's not backing off. He's using that outside to his advantage. You can use the outside, especially corner exit, to make moves. Here's a look at that door bang. And give and take by Buckover.
Yeah, Gibson took advantage using that side draft. You know, these Gen 6 cars, you can side draft with them, unlike the Gen 7 Cup cars. But Cody Gibson took advantage of getting that side draft. And just like I was saying, Justin, with this overcast conditions, the downforce is a lot more heavier, and that's why we're seeing these moves right here on the outside.
Seeing right now just that run by Zimmerman, able to zip by Chris Carroll. Carroll had to cut the nose off Mark Arthur for a split second. Able to get himself back in the line. It's quite simple, though, when it comes to this art form. The inside, yeah, is more comfortable, Emmett, but the outside, you just have so much more pull, especially down the straightaways. You're up against the wall, and you can't pass up on top of the wall or the catch fence. You have to ride in line once you run by the wall, like most of these drivers will be doing here tonight.
That's exactly right, Justin. We'll see that. We'll see them ripping the fence. And that's the thing about Michigan. You know, when I think about Michigan, I think of lines of, you know, the good old California Speedway, you know, formerly known as the California Speedway by Auto Club. You know, I think you run the same style line here that you would run at Auto Club or Pocono or something. So definitely interesting for sure.
Meanwhile, still up at the front is Moody. Qualified well. Well, the problem is he's getting squeezed onto the apron, went on the yellow line. Moody not comfortable up here. Go to the back. Wellman drives by. Perkins drives by. Bockover drives by. Everybody drives by Moody, and Moody goes towards the back.
Yeah, he's just gotten out of the draft, and once you get out of the draft, you get in that sucker hole, and you just start to drop once you're out of, like, when you get hung out to dry, and you're going to go back all the way possibly to the tail end of the field. So you just got to maintain what you see. As we see right there, Larry Bell is way off of the pace of the field. I don't know if that's, you know, a problem he had at the start, or if this is just preparing for if there's a wreck or something.
I lost the tail end of the draft here early. You normally don't like to see that. Can confirm he just quite literally lost the draft after a little bit of a scrape to the wall in 3 and 4 early on in the run. Still, though, as we go, see right now, Nicholas Moody is back on the top, at least able to find the spots. So for now, things look steady. One of the drivers that we need to keep an eye on tonight is going to be Bruden, possibly. He is not afraid to be aggressive so far.
Yeah, not afraid to be aggressive as we see him come up on Moody, trying to get around him. But Hunter Lagoon's just at the fastest lap of the race so far. So watch out for that 27 car if he's able to get up to the front.
Yeah, it's right now. Let's see what happened to Larry Bell. This is what happened, and this is why he lost the draft. That's a big drag to the wall, and that was enough for him just lose the tail in the draft.
Yeah, definitely.
So, as they run, see the drivers now working the way bottom and top. We talked about Bruden, started the race with some fast laps in the draft. Moody drags the wall. Moody didn't look comfortable there for a split second. William Bruden just stays in the choo-choo train. So far, +9 for the 83.
And look at that. They're hitting 200 miles an hour into the corner, on corner entry. But, I mean, Hunter Lagoon's trying to get that side draft on the inside line. Now Moody's taking advantage of Bockover, using the draft from the back of his bumper, able to keep that position. But Lagoon's just too good on that bottom line.
So, as they run, 110 laps to go in the race. Still 14, 15 laps in the stage, give or take. Right now, things looking well for Zimmerman, who holds on to the clean air. That 28 machine looking solid so far. Going to be hard to pass, especially here at Michigan. The longer these runs go, Emmett, the harder it is to build up a chance to zip around as Arthur tries the bottom.
Yeah, Arthur trying to get alongside, trying to get the side draft of Gibson to get that position. But now Gibson on the back of Zimmerman. Zimmerman's shown some speed, and he's been there quite a bit, Justin, but just hasn't been able to finish the job. So could this be the day that he finally gets over the hump and puts that 28 car into victory lane?
Right now, you're seeing some of the others working the way in the pack. Bockover, really good run so far. It's early, yes, but that 44 has had a rough time whenever we've seen it. Tonight, just picking off spots, taking the outside as the opportunities come, and is making moves. This is his 7th start of the season, by the way. He hasn't had a finish higher than 15th all season.
Wow.
Chris Carroll looking a bit loose there, hearing just the past moment as we're discussing that.
Oh,
That was after Bockover pushed. Someone pushed it off the track for a moment.
I think it was Nicholas Moody? No.
Nope. Believe. Things are okay for now, though. Wasn't sure on the exact number, but the rest of the field holds on. Here's a look at potentially what got loose. Well, that's why. It's hard push on entry.
Yeah, just trying to do a little bump drafting, but Michigan, it's real hard to bump drafts because, you know, your track's not like a super speedway, you know, Daytona, Talladega, or Atlanta. So you can't really bump draft, really, because the corners come up so quick, and if you try to push too hard, you're going to end up turning the guy in front of you.
So up at the front, Zimmerman hugs the wall. About 10 to go now in the stage, by the way. What do you do to try and make this pass? Because the thought is try run higher, but no one's been willing to run that higher groove above that second or third seam to try and build up a run here. Everybody's been content on just remaining in a choo-choo train like Pocono.
That's exactly right, and that's what I'm very shocked. We saw it early on, but I mean, as we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this first stage, we've seen a bit of a choo-choo train, like you were saying. But I mean, there has been moves made, but not like I was expecting to happen at this stage break for sure.
Oh, meanwhile, look at that slider. Mark Arthur slipped in front of Gibson in a tight window. Carroll working with Gibson as a result of that. Now it's a 5-car breakaway. They're busy battling for 6 on back 3 wide as well. Offset 3 wide for a split second up the front. Gibson tries to get the edge inside. Carroll not willing to push him down the front. It's going to cost the 7 a chance to clear for the race lead. Ford's on the outside. Chevy's on the inside. No job working there on the inside. Carroll works his way back to the outside. That didn't seem to work out the way Gibson was hoping with the help there with the 97. But Arthur will try the slide job, though, up front.
Yeah, trying to get her to slide up in front. Oh my gosh, what a crossover by Zimmerman.
Zimmerman wants the lead still, and he's got a teammate to help.
Oh my gosh.
Goons went to push. Hunter Lagoons working to try and help the 28. Arthur gets the pull, and the Two Dudes Racing Machine of Mark Arthur, for the first time tonight, has the lead fully. Still a few laps to go in the stage to work with here, but that 12 made it clear, and this is what we were just alluding to. If you're willing to peel higher or force the aggression, you can get the lead, and now things are getting aggressive behind. They're starting to block aggressively up to the wall.
Yeah, this is like super speedway blocking, you know, like a Brad Keselowski or Joey Logano block at Daytona or Talladega. So just got to watch these blocks. You can be aggressive, just be careful.
Gibson actually has a better run from the inside this time through. Will the 7 get the edge is the huge question. The answer is yeah. But Chris Carroll hit the door. Here we go again, and now they're joining each other. 3 wide for second.
And Hunter Lagoons took advantage of that and took the second place. He said, I'm going to watch y'all door each other, and I'm going to take it to the bottom.
Some aggressive battle, and remember the tension between the 12 and the 97 at times this season. So Gibson, for now, has a bit of a buffer for the first time tonight. Not sure how long that will last, though, with the way the draft works here. Some chaos in the back. John Perkins works his way to traffic. TBB as well.
Trying to make his way through there, but look at TBB.
Now start of the back. He's up 9. One of the drivers that needs some points scored. Wants to do well in these stages. Coming up to the closing stages of this first stretch of laps. Right now the lead maintaining somewhat at 2/10. Goonsell trying to make the run to the inside. Hunter Lagoons trying to make sure he can make a move. And looks like this time able to make it stick equal. He's got drafting help.
Yeah, look at Hunter Lagoons using his teammate. Going to take the lead. Oh, Chris Carroll drifted way up there, Justin. Got too much of a run, had to back out way out of it.
Able to get back into line, but now Lagoons looks to hold on for another 2 laps this time through. Zimmerman trying to hold on the outside, trying to hold on to track position meanwhile.
Great
side draft a little bit from the flag stand. Pit road is closed. So right now, Zimmerman forced to run that third line. Oh, they go on the front straightaway, back straightaway, I should say. 30 wide again. Bockover not giving up.
Yeah, look right here. Here comes Chris Carroll. He's going to shoot to the inside. Justin trying to get the move on his teammate.
Once again, trying to make the move, but Cody Gibson goes for the push. 1 to go in stage number 1. Chris Carroll falls all the way down to 4th. Will Gibson make a slide job move? It's worked a couple times up at the front of this group. We have one in the grass, Tanner Marr. Marr gets out of the grass. We stay green.
Down the backstretch for the final time in this stage. Does Gibson have enough to make the move?
The answer is no. In fact, Mark Arthur trying to take second away. Gets alongside, into the line they go. Coming up to the green-white checkered Hunter Lagoons. With the stage, Gibson, Arthur, Zimmerman, Perkins the top 5. Carroll gets 6, Scott Wellman, TBB, Mackey, and Moody. So stage 1 is complete. Dalton Kilrow did not get stage points.
Wow, that is unbelievable, but that is going to help Hunter Lagoons out. You know, he's below the cut line. That's definitely going to help him try to get into this championship four.
That's why the situation was for the stages here. So, 27 takes the stage lead. Let's take the opportunity to remind you this series, sponsor we'll see in a moment. But some of the sponsors going to get rubbed by Kilrow. So, speaking of sponsors, Ohio and Indiana Roofing is a premier roofing contractor and officially presents our coverage. They're a sister company to the Bruns Construction Enterprise, specializing in commercial industrial roofing. They are committed to accommodating the unique needs of each client and offering creative solutions to meet those needs. We are a team of individuals who work for the same common goals, professionalism, quality, and service. Services we offer include preventative maintenance, re-roof and new construction, infrared scanner, green roof solutions, metal, retrofit, emergency repair services, and more. Please visit oiroofing.com for more information. So we pace around here and should see pit stops coming up here. Overall, tonight we have 5 sets total, 4 in the pit lane. That leaves you with a couple sets for stage 3 to work with. So far, so solid has been the racing. The fall-off band had been on average about 1.6 seconds past 5. Should see no issues on pit road, likely Emmett, as long as people have the brakes set.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Don't see any lockups. But what an opening stage, Justin. I mean, that was completely crazier than I thought it was going to be at the beginning. But then it also got crazy at the end, and what a move by Hunter Lagoons to win that stage. Unbelievable job by that 27 driver.
Oh, look at that. 2 tires, Mark Arthur. Do you think 2 tires will work, and why?
Yes, it can. Brian Zimmerman gets an EOL, but we'll have to take a look at that. But it can work because this is a drafting track. So definitely we'll have to keep an eye on Arthur and see how those 2 go against the rest of the field's 4.
Still, under caution once again. So what's the game plan now for stage 2? What do you change up based on what you've seen?
A lot of sliders. I mean, they've thrown some crazy sliders. It all depends on if this cloud break is going to happen and the sun's going to come out, because then it's going to be a whole different track. It's going to be a hot track, and you're not going to have as much downforce as we've seen. You just got to be able to keep the momentum and just remain on defense, but be smart when you place those blocks, because if you move just a little bit past of when you can, it could cause chaos in the field.
So Kleinsmith, Bell, and Bockover come back down a second time. Mark Arthur and Hunter Lagoons are up front. Gibson and Carroll, Wellman and Perkins, TBB and Kilrow. Then Harmon and Moody, your top 10. So drivers are discussing this on the radio. It looks like potential of technical side of things, but for now, things seem to be holding firm. This stage will go to lap 48. This is going to be a quick stage, only 20 laps, green flag alert racing up at max here.
There's going to be a lot of action.
Especially off the start, you'd have to think here. We've seen how beneficial the two wide racing set things up for the lead.
Yeah, definitely, and it's been so crazy. I don't know how many lead changes we're going to have at the end of this thing, but we got to be over, what, 20 or 30 lead changes in the first stage?
Well, we had Zimmerman lead 12. He's starting in 17th. 5 for Gibson, 1 for Carroll, 3 for Arthur, 6 for Lagoons in terms of lead laps. So we've had 5 of a possible 20 lead laps so far. Green flag is back out. We're backing away. And already Arthur clear of both lines. He looks to try and hold off the pack. Cody Gibson able to streak his way through to second with the start. Lagoons blocked off by the 7.
Wow.
Now, obviously not wanting to let that outside line go, but Mark Arthur does let it go. The 7 goes up to the point. Carroll takes it 3 wide for second.
Yeah, 3 wide for second. Mark Arthur using that bottom, try to get that side draft. Lagoons up top. His teammate Carroll getting a big push from Wellman. Here comes Carroll. He's going to rock it. Well, I thought he was going to rock it to the front, but actually goes with his teammate trying to get their drive.
Everyone just racing aggressively here, trying to battle their way on through. Look at Perkins, able to cut his way forward. Good showing again by the two dudes racing cars when they've had track position here tonight. Seen it all night, but Dalton Kilrow needs some of that track position. He's been quiet, too quiet in the 41.
Yeah, been real quiet. Of course, we go back to Pocono. Of course, he got involved in that wreck early on, but, I mean, Kilrow just hasn't shown really anything on these bigger tracks. So it'll be interesting to see how he uses that momentum from winning last week to carry over and try to get into this championship for sure.
The outside, Gibson just maintaining that line. Kyle Wellman caught him a wheelman earlier. He's been able to wheel his way to second now. You know who's also working their way through? Massengill, who did make the start tonight. We've seen him not appear in some. The 42 is in the lead, but the caution is out. It's Tanner Marr. He's destroyed.
Man. Yeah, this is the second time Marr. We saw him at the end of the stage get spun out, but this time that car, he doesn't have the bump. He doesn't have a spoiler.
So, that was a hit. Speaking of the 20.
Was that Mark Arthur?
Believe Arthur might have been in the vicinity, but he has no damage. He almost got it.
Wow.
So, hard hit for Tanner Marr in particular for this caution flag. Damage as well for Brian Dees. Let's take a look. Ty Marasco.
Oh, came across the nose of Bruton. 20 did a Massengill.
So that puts us under caution. Our first for incident here tonight. Let's take a look. How close was it for the 12? This close.
Wow.
Oh my God.
My gosh. Avoided both of them.
How terrifying is that?
I think that's a code brown.
Bruden. Believe Matzinger went across his nose there. That's how Brian D's got.
Oh, Larry Bell. Oh, man.
So both Massengill and Bell have lost their front noses from that incident, by the way. Bruden from the contact coming in for precaution. Also coming in, Mark Arthur, who is wanting to be careful and have extra fuel on hand. Bach over because not sure. And Brian Dees because the rear end's destroyed. But Kyle Wellman got the scoring loop right at the time of caution, so we have a new leader again.
Wow.
It's on Mike Massengill. They just gave the cause of caution to the 20.
I mean, I could see that because, I mean, he got into the wall and came across Bruton. But
see this again. I mean,
I think that's more on Bruton.
Counterpoint. Massengill bounced off the wall down the straightaway. Came down again. I can see where the thought process is after he bounced off the wall down a straightaway. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that cut. That's what's put us under caution once again. Chris Carroll started third. Good chance for Kyle Wellman here. See if he can keep himself at the front. He's had to take his time to make some of these passes here, and now we'll get the chance to be the Pied Piper on the restart.
Yeah, definitely.
So to reset your top 10, Kyle Wellman, Cody Gibson, Chris Carroll, and John Perkins, Hunter Lagoons, and Tanner Butcher Benjamin, Trevor Harmon, and Dalton Kilrow, Tom Rasco, and Nicholas Moody, your top 10. So we'll have a grand total of about 12-ish laps to work with them. And what do you do with those 12 laps? How do you get that to work, as it almost looks like it's going to rain at this point?
Yeah. It does look like it's going to rain, but it has moved to cloudy. Humidity has went down just a hair. But I mean, you just got to, there's going to be some crazy runs. We've already seen some crazy sliders. But that's the thing about this, with all this downforce on this track and it being such a cool track, that's what makes these speeds go up, and you're able to maintain your tires. So I don't think tires are going to be that big of a factor. I think fuel's going to be a bigger factor, and maintaining and knowing when to block and when not to block, or when to push and not to push.
So let's see where this takes us this time. Kyle Wellman in control. Green, green, green. Back underway. And Wellman able to clear as the Five Kings machine controls things up at the front. One of those not with team communications right now. Chris Carroll powers his way up to the front, says, I need a lead laps, my friend. Let's go.
Yeah, and look who's coming right behind him. Hunter Lagoons right there, trying to get with Carroll. Carroll had to lift a little bit. He's got such a good run on Wellman. But Wellman able to maintain the lead.
So Wellman able to
Oh my gosh.
Get the
what a
outside
move.
going. Some tight moves there, yeah. Look who's trying to make some cuts inside too. Trevor Harmon in his Toyota.
Yeah, look at John Perkins on the outside trying to get the drafting help from Hunter Lagoons to get past Lagoons' teammate, Carroll. Now he's going to get to the back of Gibson. Perkins looking good in this stage, guys. Oh my gosh.
See right now, Carroll trying to play different lines. Perkins preferring to run the top, obviously. Better dig for the 97 up into the draft effect near contact.
Yeah, look at that. Kilroy going to push him 3 wide on the inside, but Perkins able to use the draft from Gibson for a moment, but look at Carroll, power on that middle line, able to slide up in front of Perkins and take away the 3rd spot.
Still side by side for the lead, by the way. Wellman still trying to work the tripods in the Wild Machine ahead of the pack. Carroll goes middle. Now works behind the 7. Carroll trying to slice and dice, and now is getting help from behind. He'll go for the race lead. Can he get a slide out of work to try and clear Cody Gibson?
Yeah, look at Chris Carroll. Car going to save it. Oh, they saved it. No caution.
Zimmerman. No caution, yes. Zimmerman not happy per se on the radio. Think with himself. Because I think there were 4 wide there. Zimmerman obviously got the worst of it. Ty Marasco also with contact.
Yeah, definitely Marasco with the contact. And take a look right here. Oh, Nicholas Moody.
That was a tight hole to fit it in the first place, Emmett. He just took the run wherever the hole opened up. Obviously, the inside lines didn't want to cooperate there.
Yeah, now we see Perkins, on that inside line was up to P2, but now he's dropping like a rock as he's back far as, let's see, he's still dropping now to P7's where he's going to find a spot.
By the way, Tanner Marr has not returned to the racetrack without the spoiler. His response in the comments for tonight: I love racing. 7 dots later. LOL.
That reminds me of Kurt Busch when he wrecked. And he was just like, I love my job. I just love my job each and every week.
I mean, some days you'll have great races. Some days your car will be destroyed. And there are times it's a little bit of both, where you're driving a modified to the finish line. But for Chris Carroll, he drives his way up to the lead. The Pit Lizard performance car is back up front. Only a few laps to go on the stage. Remember, we race until lap 48 tonight for stage 2. So the drivers in the back trying to do something, anything to get in the top 10 here for some stage points with Chris Mackey here.
Mackey, oh, D's into the wall. Mark Arthur.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about the 9 machine much of the season, and are one of the drivers from the 5 King stable. But tonight, just willing to ride in the back, let the race come to him. Hope there's some trouble to pick up spots maybe later on here.
Good looking shot right here at Chris Mackey. Mackey, wasn't that Bristol? He had a top 5?
I have to double check that, but he does have 1 top 5 on the season. Yeah, you're right. He did get 1 at Bristol. 4th place there.
That's right, because Mark Arthur dominated that race and then had the miscue.
Al Wellman with a bit of a hit to Gibson to push him.
Oh my gosh.
Tanner Marr's officially done for the night. He has parked it for the evening. All this is wow. We come up this time through about 4 to go in the stage. Rough estimate. Carroll near contact.
Oh my gosh.
They're getting a little bit dicey on the racing lines here. Some close calls in the midst of things. I know it's Dega week right now for everybody else, but they're driving like it's Dega a bit.
Well, that's the thing about Michigan, you know, this is, I mean, it's not a super speedway per se, but I mean, it's, you know, the style of racing, especially with this Gen 6, I mean, it's a lot of drafting with, they got the aero package like Dega and Daytona with the spoilers, but I mean, this is just crazy.
Wellman's in the wall. Wellman out of the conversation for the lead as a result. 3 to go on the stage. Hunter O'Goons trying to make the move for second. Near contact with the 7 wants to go down. Goons forced out of the gas though. You can see that one coming. Down on the flat. Slightly less banking down there. Caught some ground as they get a bit of contact there.
What a move by Carroll to shoot up to break the draft of the 7. And look, here comes Kyle Wellman on the inside. Justin trying to get that side draft. Does he have enough to get up to Cody Gibson?
Answer is no, but he does have enough to get in front of Lagoons again. 2 to go on the stage. Here comes the run. Cody Gibson says, push, push. Nearly pushed so hard it spun the 97 out. Instead, Carroll is digging in clean air in the corners.
Yeah, and he's starting to pull away, but I don't like you being out that far if I'm Chris Carroll, because now you're kind of a sitting duck if Gibson gets a big enough run or if Wellman has somebody go with him, but at the moment he doesn't. Coming to the white flag, Justin.
White flag is out. Now we look to see for how stage 2 goes. They get racy. Looking to see where Gibson tries to take this. Carroll's preferring to defend from the outside of the arc. Sliding up Cody Gibson, pushing hard on the throttle. Side by side behind. Kilroe gets around for 4th. Here we go.
Gibson.
Here we go. Trying to go for the slider. Here's a look from Kilroe. They switch up heavily for the lead. Kilroe to 3rd. Kilroe trying to take it to the lead. He dives to the apron. Side by side for the point. Might have gotten it there. It is Carroll by 2 1,000ths at the line over Kilroe, Gibson, and Wellman.
Wow.
5th place went to Lagoons, Perkins in 6th. Mooney, TBB, Harmon, Dees were in the top 10.
I called that too early. I was looking at the pylon, but yeah, whoa, that was a crazy stage.
So interesting enough here, Emmett, Kilroe will get the lead for the pit stop cycle because of how things were with the scoring loops, with how things go in iRacing with the stages, since you can't revert back to the lap for the stage. So it's one of those rarities where the winner of the stage will not be the leader for pit road.
Wow. I think I'd rather have the stage points than the lead coming into the pits, though.
I like both.
Yeah.
So we are getting set to go. Look at that. My
Wow.
gosh.
That'll be on the monthly reel.
Photo finish. And now the real race begins. Less than 70 to go when we enter the start of the stage. And for these drivers, it's going to become the question how long these fuel tanks are going to last. 75% fuel limit, remember. This might be a 1 to 2 stopper here coming up. It's going to be curious. So, in we go. Remember, one driver took 2 tires, Mark Arthur. Didn't work well for the finishing position. Everyone, as expected, taking some tires here. Should see 4 tires from most to use that second set. Well, Kyle Wellman and Aaron Bockover just took 2 tires. Just as we say that, everybody else indeed puts on 4 fresh General tires. Dalton Kilrow comes out third, Cody Gibson fourth, Chris Carroll the top 5. Kyle Wellman and Aaron Bockover are the 2 who rolled the dice on tires. So again, as we pace, remember, next time out for this series, we head to Nashville. Drivers will have a 162 lapper on the concrete, more than a mile circuit. The 162 lapper will see staged at 32 and 64 in the middle portion of the round of 8 to see who moves on to the championship. Remember, there is still no determined track yet for the actual championship on November the 16th. So, the surprise circuit for the title will be an interesting one. We do have one of the drivers who just took a strategy role coming in, not sure why they would do that.
Yeah, that's a bold strategic move.
That's, I mean, why take 2 tires when you're coming back down again?
Right, definitely.
So Bockover, after taking 2 tires to get track position, says, what's track position? I'd rather fuel, and tops off. Not sure why no 4 tires in that call, but it's Kyle Wellman who does stick to the call. Gets to be the control car, Emmett. Stage 3, we might see this pack really split up with pit stops expected here.
Yeah, well, we should see them split up. It'll be interesting to see how they get onto pit road, if they have any trouble with this pitting, and then how they're going to blend on the track also, you know.
Yeah, that's going to be something to watch for later on. You see the field, for the most part, it's caught up except for Brian Zimmerman. With the 1 DNF so far tonight, Tanner Marr, everybody else still running and still on the lead lap. Coming up to the restart. 68 to go in the stage. This one to the end. Pace car set to see who rolls off better. Wellman is the one who does. Cody Gibson follows suit. They battle for second as Gibson tries to flare up.
Yeah, Gibson trying to get to the back using the draft of Wellman, trying to get around Kilrow. Now Wellman's going to shoot in front of Kilrow, and here comes Gibson with the drafting help of Carroll.
Carroll trying to help him get up to speed, but Kilrow helping out Wellman. Gibson clears for the point. Wellman just about dooring the 97. See the gamesmanship right now. Gibson trying to play the lines. We've seen how difficult that's been here tonight, Emmett. Trying to play both lines to defend.
Yeah, definitely trying to play both lines. So we see Carroll shoot to the inside. He's got a little help, but that outside line's looking a lot more stronger than the inside. Now we see Kilrow shoot in front of Carroll, trying to get some drafting help.
Yeah, at this point, it's pick where your line is going to bring most speed from. Does that make sense? A little bit if you follow Star Wars, but these drivers are looking to reach for the stars tonight. Wellman plays defense. Lagoons falls through. Perkins has gone through. By the way, to the back again, Dalton Kilrow. He's got no help on the inside.
Yeah, no help. Just trying to find a way to get in the line. So now we see Carroll coming up on Wellman as kill row 3 wide now with Harmon and Dees on the outside and in the middle.
See that traffic jam as they work through it. Lori Bell's always found a nose on the car. Nicholas Moody nearly loses it. Moody saves it. Able to keep it off of Bell's car.
Yeah, and Ty Marasco took advantage of all of that chaos that just happened. Moves into the number 12 spot.
Yeah, that was a massive slide. Able to hold on with multiple moments of 3 wide.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, car in the wall.
33 hearing up in the wall. That is Perkins. Don't really cost him any momentum, though. Doesn't even have any scuff marks.
I think it made him faster, actually.
I don't think scrape marks are supposed to make it faster, though.
That's what I'm thinking, but, you know, some of these guys, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. The Gen 6, you know, with this different body style, definitely shouldn't, for sure.
See right now, traffic jam galore for Chris Mackey. He slides himself almost into the door.
Oh, man.
Nearly doored himself into the wall as he tries to pass by Harmon here. That's how slippery slidey this car can get here with how much momentum you can carry.
Yeah, definitely.
How difficult is it in the pack here in dirty air in the corners to drive this car?
Very difficult.
How so? Oh, hold on 1 second. Wellman just fell off a cliff. You heard that Perkins got up in the wall again. That's because I think they made contact hearing. That's what checked up Wellman and Perkins into the pack. There's the replay. Yeah, there's definitely some help there from Wellman.
Yeah.
So, Kyle Wellman goes from the back to the front, well, the front to the back, should say. Perkins maintains some of the track position from the hit. Here's the look from Wellman.
Oh, man.
Looks like he tried to go outside, but was not there.
Yeah. And as we come to the halfway point, this has been a crazy race, but Cody Gibson doing a great job maintaining the lead in front of Carroll and Lagoons.
Yep, we're seeing right now, though, up at the front, a change for the lead. Carroll sends it.
Watch up!
Able to park it right in front of Gibson's nose. Chris Carroll's had 9 laps tonight as we have trouble back straightaway. Caution flag is out. It's Trevor Harmon. The Team 5 Motorsports car is now sideways. He had help from Larry Bell to put us under yellow.
Yeah, when we took a look at that static cam, I saw it towards the back, and that's what got me a little excited. I couldn't tell who it was spun, but yeah, Trevor Harmon definitely had some help from Bell.
Right there, yeah. Gone to the fender, and all the 29 could do was slide it.
Yeah, he tried to overcorrect it when he did. That's what got him sideways. I think if he would have backed out of the gas just a little bit, he might have been okay. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, and just has to crank it back up after that. Gonna likely maintain the lead lap from that situation. So, Chris Carroll, Cody Gibson up front. It is on Larry Bell per race control as we showed. So, What do you do on fuel here? We still have 58 to go at the stripe, Emmett.
Oh, I think you may come in, get maybe half a gallon, and then actually fill it all the way up. And then if it comes down to it, you can always come up and top off on a splash and go. But oh man, Cody Gibson barely made it to the pit road.
Looks like everybody coming down this likely makes it a one-stopper roughly the rest of the way. From here, it gets really tricky on the strategy. But Hunter Lagoons did overrun his pit stall a little bit. Everybody else tries to enter cleanly. Bunch of fuel, and he's in 2 tires to the back of the field. Butcher Benjamin, Dees, Mackey, a lot of people, Kilrow. A lot of 6-second stops. Not really anybody except for a couple taking tires there. Lagoons was one of them. Carroll was another. A lot of fuel onlys, Emmett.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we expected. I'm really surprised of the 2 tires, but I mean, look at Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Brian Dees. They gain and Mark Arthur and Chris Mackey. They gain a lot of track position with their stops.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have the strategist pulled. Lori Bell, EOL Pelany. So a few drivers on 4 tires here. They're down to 1 set the rest of the way. But a vast majority of the field keeping the extra set down on pit road just in case here. So question will be, how do you think the drivers on fresh tires will be? We've seen the drivers on 2 tires have kept up front for a bit, then fallen off.
Yeah, definitely interesting. And here's another interesting call is Chris Carroll and Hunter Lagoons are coming back down pit road.
Fuel number has to be close if they're coming down a second time here, Emmett.
It has to be.
Remember, these cars are only 14 gallons in the fuel tank here tonight. So top off, add a little bit of extra gas. Make sure they can get a little bit farther here. Up at the front, Cody Gibson in control. Taylor Butcher Benjamin in second. Dees and Arthur, Mackey and Kilrow, Perkins and Marasco. Kleinsmith and Moody are your top 10 coming up. Interesting for Dees to be up here. Emmett, by the way, he was involved in one of the incidents, had some heavy damage earlier. Seems to be up to speed.
Yeah, up to speed and looking good. I mean, we saw him get into the wall just a little bit early on. Of course, you mentioned being involved in those accidents, but that's the thing about Michigan, you know. It's such a long race, and we see some guys, you know, they'll come in, make some adjustments, and go back out, and all of a sudden make some track position calls, and here they are up here.
Up they go indeed. But now we look to see how the fresh tires go later on in the run. But for now, Darrell Butcher Benjamin up to his highest point of the day, and he has kept sleeping on the start. Cody Gibson gets the launch.
I think Butcher Benjamin was trying to back up to get Arthur to give him a push right here.
Hard crash. Someone gets turned up on the fence. Kyle Willman is demolished. Caution comes out again. Trevor Harmon, William Bruin, and Aaron Bach over in it.
Oh my God.
That was drastic. That was sudden. Somebody definitely got turned there.
Yeah. Man.
Right there. Wellman.
Oh.
Did Wellman get loose and then cause that?
That's what it looked like. He might have got a little arrow loose. But, oh my gosh. I mean, tough break for Wellman. Had Probably a winning car as we see him going across the track, crab walking.
Hearing that woman did hit the front end of the car in front, caused the chaos. Trevor Harmon months the minute now with blown motors here. It's going to take a lot of cars. Here's the look again. Yeah, contact was so hard it got him loose.
Yeah, Kleinschmidt just checked up and he wasn't expecting it. It didn't have a chance for lift and just the contact.
So, more contact yet again. A wall ride for one of them. It's going to make things a little bit tighter on the fuel windows, maybe. Going to help some of the drivers here in saving gas at least. That's the bright side. Mark Arthur's was coming down with CNR replay.
That looks like, was that Zane Smith at Kansas?
I'm sorry?
I said it looked like, I was trying to remember who that was, that wall road at Kansas. Was it Zane Smith?
Yes, it was Zane Smith, yes. Still, puts us under caution yet again. Now, how do you play things knowing you have to stretch the fuel run here? What's kind of the approach? Mind you, just about everybody who went in for the tire sets was involved in the incident, except for Carroll and Lagoons, by the way.
Yeah, this is, I'll tell you who's looking like a genius, and that's Lagoons and Carroll for sure, but I don't know. This is, it's going to be interesting. Looks like we're going to get some, nope, they're going to stay out.
Yeah, they're coming up to the when to go signal. So, Bell topping off here at least. Let's find out where this takes the field. All of a sudden we go from one car out to 5 off circuit. Gibson, Dees, TBB, Mackey, Perkins the top 5. Carroll, Moody, Marasco, Kleinsmith, Carroll the top 10. And we still have 52 to go, but there's still a lot of time to plot and plan.
Yeah, definitely. But here's the thing. Are we going to have cautions breed more cautions, or are we going to go green from here on out? You got to think about that with fuel strategy also.
So, we pace around. Get ready for the launch. It's been a Chevy-controlled race much of the way. Some little laps by Fords. Toyotas have had a hard time making their way to the front. If you're keeping on with manufacturer wars. So we get ready for the restart with 52 laps to go. Pace car drops off the circuit. Green flag is out. We're back underway. A good launch by Gibson. Butcher Benjamin trying to streak his way to second after the poor launch for the outside. He's got a good one for the inside at least.
Yeah, and as Gibson was drifting up to the top, Benjamin got a heck of a run, and I think Gibson saw that, and that's why he moved down to the bottom. But he's trying to get the drafting help from Dees. Now, Butcher Benjamin trying to get the drafting help from Perkins as we see Brian Dees going for the lead.
Brian Dees going from crash to the point nearly. 4 wide, 3 wide in fact. Now,
oh, there goes Marasco.
Caution flag is out. Marasco sent sliding. He avoids the wall. Looked like John Perkins might have got him. And it puts us back under yellow.
Just like a pinball.
Perkins said, that he got doored down the whole straightaway. Am I seeing that the wrong way, or I see only one dooring, and it was from the 33?
That's what I'm wondering, because it looked like the one was bouncing off the 41, and he might have just barely bounced off Perkins. But it's just so tight when you get 3 wide out there, Justin, and it's so hard, you know, like right here. I don't see a door.
Yeah, I am not sure what John Perkins is seeing, and what he is claiming is not matching up.
Maybe he's just pleading his case.
So Wellman is still laps down. Trevor Hartman and William Brunin have officially parked it for the night, by the way. They have both left the racetrack and are off to Brooklyn, Michigan. Perkins does get the EOL penalty for cause of caution. Perkins also damaged his right front from the issue, so he'll have to come down like and get that fixed. Cautions, precautions all of a sudden, Emmett. This race went from clean to chaos.
Yeah, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, and these guys are really picking up the intensity. It'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. Oh, what a fake out by Dees.
Not sure on that one, but lots of top-offs coming up here.
Just getting topped off. They're making that gas man own his money today.
Surprised we didn't see more of this around the point when a lot of people had come on their runs in the first place.
Yeah, that was very interesting. We didn't see that, but it'll be crazy to see how, if Perkins, you know, tries to push it, trying to get to the front, or if he maintains and just lets it play out and doesn't try to push it, because that could cause some craziness in the back.
So, the only drivers staying out: Gibson, Dees, Mackey, Butcher, Benjamin, Kilrow, and Arthur. For sure, on a one-stop here are Carroll, Lagoons, Kleinspit, Massengill, Bell, Mooney, Marasco. The top-off does give a lot of flexibility regardless of where the fuel stints could go here, Emmett, though. That's the bright side.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's why we're seeing, you know, the 2 Pit Lizard performance cars of Lagoons and Carroll coming in and getting that top off, because they probably think this race is going to have more cautions. Like I said, breed more cautions from the other cautions.
So, we'll try this again. 48 to go. Arthur took tires on his top off recently. No one really took tires except for Nicholas Moody on that top off sequence. So a lot of laps to be able to turn here in this one. So what would you be telling the field after what's been a caution-filled start to stage 3?
Just maintain, stay patient, and looks like fuel's going to be the main thing, but stay patient. Know when you can make that move. Don't throw a crazy block that could wreck half the field.
We'll find out how this goes here soon. Let's check the weather. It's hot again. Went from cloudy to overcast again all of a sudden.
Yeah, with that less humidity, Justin, it's really gonna make these cars, if you get in dirty air, I don't think you're gonna be able to handle it as well as we've seen these guys getting behind each other.
Let's find out how this is about to go. Gibson in control. Green flag is out, backing away. Mackey actually got a better jump than Gibson did. Now he'll try and push the 7. Highest up we've seen the 9 machine be here tonight.
Yeah, look at Chris Mackey and doing a great job keeping out of trouble. Finds himself in P2 for the moment. Actually, he's going for the lead.
Yeah, look at this. The outside getting the better run. Mackey getting shuffled. Drivers who topped off still wait patiently for their chance to move forward. Arthur now slips his way on through, also up to 4th. Mackey up to 5th. Dees gets blocked off. Thought about to move to the outside for a moment. Instead, Butcher Benjamin might have a chance for 2nd.
Yeah, Butcher Benjamin goes to the inside, trying to pull alongside, gets that side draft. Now he's trying to get up to Cody Gibson so he can slide up as now Gibson almost helped Butcher Benjamin right there, but now Butcher Benjamin trying to use that inside line to get the momentum.
Look at this. Dees able to clear by again at the back of the field. John Perkins wants some of his spots back. Already remember repairing that fender after the cut from the contact. All while Carroll trying to make his way through those who stayed out.
Oh, look at here. Here comes Arthur.
Arthur going for the point. Trying to take the move. Able to take it to the lead.
And
Arthur leads. 44 to go. So, bottom line works itself together. Here are a couple Culture Coasters maybe here in the pack.
3 wide.
Oh, that's a tight squeeze. Marasco pulls out a bit. And we didn't like that, and Matthew Kleinsmith forced to back out of his move.
Yeah, Kleinsmith tried to force it 3 wide, but he backed out of it. As now we see Marasco trying to get it up to the outside. They're 3 wide, further back on for the 7th position.
Yes, indeed. All of them stay lined up, though, on the outside wall. A couple drivers trying sliders. Terrell Butcher Benjamin now preferring the high side. Up front, though, Brian Dees will try and go for the lead again. The inside line's actually starting to come in a little bit with those runs off of turn 2. Dees, bit of a faster car here. Going to be tough to clear out of 3 and 4. Arthur has more speed.
Yeah, Arthur's got the advantage with the outside line, but now Dees trying to get up alongside of him to get that side draft. He's just going to fall in line, trying to get a bigger run as he's got help from Chris Carroll. Teammates.
Oh, some trouble back there. Mackey on the apron. And the 9 all the way into the heart of the field after starting towards the front of the pack. That's how quickly things get shuffled here, Emmett.
Yeah, definitely gets shuffled really quick. They're slicing and dicing out there, and as we see Chris Carroll able to try to get the 3rd spot, he's going to try to get the side draft to get along. Butcher Benjamin almost got wrecked by his teammate. Wow.
Yeah, that was a bit of a close call again.
Oh my gosh.
They're racing aggressive here. They're racing like it's 5 to go.
Right. There's still 41 laps to go in this race.
Yeah, here comes Terrell Butcher Benjamin. TBB drives to 2nd as Larry Bell Mike Massengill just had an incident. Larry Bell is done. Mike Massengill was slow. 43 can't confirm, put up in the wall by the 20. We stay green. So the rest of the field keeps going. Dalton Kilrow also was nearby. Let's take a look.
Oh my God.
So more incidents stack up again at the back of the field. 43 and the 20 off track. Here's a look again. Mike Massengill actually bonked into the wall, then bonked into Bell.
Yeah, now Bell don't have a nose.
So more trouble for drivers. We're down to 13 on the lead lap. They're all in the main pack. Mike Massengill did just come in for a quick repair and left. Keep in mind, no fast repairs in the series. Not sure how or what he got fixed for 7.5 seconds, but he did get some fuel, I think.
Here comes Hunter Lagoons.
He's up at the front all of a sudden, up to third, all while some of the others get racy back there. Speaking of racy, Butcher Benjamin tried the side trap, goes to the apron.
Yeah, try to get the side draft, got a big run, and he's going to try to take it right here. If he can just get the slider to work. Enough room.
So, Lagoon's able to slip his way through to second. Here comes Carroll yet again to the front. Chris Carroll jumps to third.
Yeah, now he's got his teammate right there. The Pit Lizard performance cars locked in together. Look at this. Hunter Lagoon's trying to get some help from his teammate. Oh, my God.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit brave. Ty Marasco, he was spun around just a caution ago. He's up to second. My goodness, Ty Marasco being very aggressive to get up here. He's in the wall, now getting bounced off nearly. Marasco boxed in, and Carroll lets him have second as it's turned around.
Oh, my gosh.
Cars are in the wall. Cars are upside down. Still no caution flag as Cody Gibson is upside down on the racetrack. Dalton Kilroy's in the grass. Mackey goes down to the grass. Still no caution.
We don't need no stinking cautions as we see.
We have an spinner.
To the bottom.
Nicholas Mooney just stopped on the racetrack also. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Race control says race on. They're towed. Well, that will shake up the playoff a bit. Gibson and Kilroy in it are both off the racetrack, Emmett, with 36 to go.
And we think back to Pocono, how that involved with Kilroy being involved in that huge wreck early on, now gets involved in this late race wreck. Could that push him out of the championship four, Justin?
Indeed. Oh my goodness.
Into the catch fence.
Nearly walked up into the catch fence. Lagoons. Now to the point.
Watch out.
A lot of sliders here tonight. Ty Marasco. Oh, is not afraid to be brave for this race, Lee. It looks like this time will just push.
Hunter Lagoons using his dirt background, able to pull the slider. Goes to the front. 34 to go down the back stretch.
Here we go. Marasco takes it inside. Ty Marasco wants the lead back, takes it back. The DQ machine. We'll hope that doesn't happen here. As Carroll now looks to push. He prefers to run outside. That is a teammate yet again. Near contact behind him, by the way. Zimmerman nearly turned Kleinsman to the backdrop.
There's going to be a lot of tempers flaring after this race.
Here comes an air send outside. Dees takes himself to fourth. That's how quickly things can change here tonight.
Yeah, and did you see how aggressive Marasco was cutting the nose of Perkins to cut off that run and try to get that help from the push?
So, 32 to go. Squeeze on by Carroll. So how long do the runs go? Some of the drivers are almost 30 laps into the field run, Emmett.
Yeah, it's going to be. Well, we know with Lagoons and Carroll, they've topped off on those last two cautions, so it'll be interesting to see if they come in and just top off on the short pit and try to short pit it, or if they stay out and try to make it last.
Yikes. In terms of some of the racing here. Now, Dees goes to the bottom. He hits the apron.
Ooh. Safe
Really
shield.
spinning around. Butcher Benjamin to the wall. Perkins goes to the inside. Marasco goes everywhere. Yeah. So we're down to 9 cars running, by the way, on the racetrack for those curious. Nicholas Moody and Cuddy Gibson are the next cars up in the order. They are both off track. Only Zimmerman has lost the draft here. We should just about be inside the field window from here. Arthur is apparently on track also, but he's 18 seconds back.
Look at that
I'm surprised.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, now as they go. It's going to be a hope for a caution for Arthur. I think now we're starting to see a bit of the patience game, especially knowing these drivers are about to dive down pit road here.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's going through your mind here knowing you have to dive through pit road soon?
Well, and the thing is, I mean, like you said, there's 9 cars running in this race. So, I mean, it's going to be a game of cat and mouse for sure. Oh my gosh, look at the run that John Perkins just got, Justin.
Yeah. Kleinsmith trying his mic to try to do something back there. Nothing's been working. Perkins at the least wants the lead.
He's like that Big X the Plug song, explicit, I'm from Texas, and he's trying to just power to the front.
Yeah, we're seeing right now, the inside, though, doesn't have enough help to work here. It's going to make it all the more tricky. It's going to potentially be down to that money stop. But the big separations we're about to see pop up on the racetrack for who's going to lead here. Right now, Marasco trying the inside. Nothing doing it again. If anything, going side by side is hurting whoever they're running side by side with.
Oh, definitely. And these guys further in the back, they could be clutching. You know, they could start clutching and try to sandbag it and try to save enough to get to the end. That would be interesting as well.
Yeah. As we look at some of the intervals pop up here. These are the two out the longest. 31 laps now on the stint. Everyone else left in the race is down to 22. So these two that you see highlighted are going to have a bit of a tricky time here. You have to think, Evan. I don't know how that's going to work
Yeah,
in terms of their draft, with how big the draft's been.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to work either, because do they all come at once, or are they going to try to, you know, jump each other? I mean, it's all topsy-turvy right now with this short of a field. Perkins!
Oh, Perkins trying to slide up. Barely made contact. Instead, Carroll gets the run again. Another bold move, 25 to go. What a move is what he said on the radio. Carroll did. So just about everybody choo-choo trains for now as we take a look at Butcher Benjamin. See him just having to lift a little bit in the corners here, struggling a little bit with the grip now as we come to the end of the run. This fall off has been about 0.8 to 1 second this run.
Yeah, and seeing Butcher Benjamin with that SpongeBob helmet, you got to be thinking he's saying, I'm ready, let's win this race.
So, for the race lead, Carroll slides up, and another Pit Lizard car takes the lead. Pit stop time in the backdrop. Marasco, Dees, and Butcher Benjamin are all coming down. That's going to add a little bit of help now for those that had to pit there. Makes things all the more clear. We're looking at pit stops for the rest of the field under 15 to go at this point. Let's take a look at Dees. He had a good entry, we're hearing. Really good entry. I mean, why not?
Wow. Oh, slow down, slow down, slow down.
Oh, interesting. They try and match the strategy of the others here. Carroll, Lagoons, and Kleinsmith all trying to respond. Perkins did not come down. Brian Zimmerman as well.
Wow. Mark Arthur on pit road as well.
So,
and it makes you wonder, Justin, if Brian Zimmerman, he was that far back, if he started saving, and that's why he stayed out.
well, he was involved in some of the incidents earlier, had a minute and 29 seconds of damage, 6 seconds behind the leader. May as well try something, right? But where will things shuffle here? Brian Dees has already caught John Perkins. Chris Carroll nearly comes out in front of him. Dees passes with Marasco. Lagoons is also in the pack. Everybody else has lost touch of the lead group as Perkins stays low to come down pit road.
Brian Dees, from spinning out earlier, could possibly be in a shot to get this win.
So, we'll see where things go for Perkins and Zimmerman. But Brian Dees, the net leader, Emmett. It'd be a surprise win if Dees was able to pull it off, but we still have a couple people still within the draft.
Yeah, it'd be definitely a spin and win that we did not see coming, and it would really shake up these playoff standings as well.
Yeah, this would cause a little bit of a ripple effect with the reset, absolutely here. Perkins, as expected, does not maintain the draft here. He'll lose touch with the majority of the leaders, in fact, and fall out of the clutches of Pack 2. Freshest tires, but that was also close to a pit exit violation, Emmett. He had to be careful with the blue cone. He is good.
Yeah, barely made it, but glad he made it because that could have just ended his day. Because you got to think about it, guys. If we get a caution, John Perkins is right back in this race.
So the top four now look to see what happens. So what's the game plan? How do you approach this now with under 20 to go? Now this is the hard part of where this draft package comes into play here.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Especially I was looking at those Pit Lizard performance cars. When, they got to be thinking, determining when they're going to make their run to the front. And does Carroll put Lagoons in front and push him to get him into that round of 4, but not the win and you're in thing, or vice versa?
So all of them choo-choo train for now, running 38.2s, a little bit slower the pace from earlier, matching speed in the second pack. So they need a lot of luck to close up. They do have Mark Arthur in front of them, by the way, who continues to lose time in bunches here. Didn't get the caution he needed, but if he does get a caution, we'll at least get a lucky dog situation coming up here.
Yeah, and this is real interesting because they're coming up on Arthur. How is Dees going to play this? Is he going to have trouble getting around him and allow Marasco to get up to the bump? He's just going to blow past him. But now does Marasco, and Arthur just moves up to the top. So forget what I said. Great job by these guys maneuvering around the lap machine of Arthur. Ooh.
See that little peak again for Clean Air. Marasco is now chipped away to under a 10. Still 16 laps to plot and plan. So, it's going to be the matter of how big this suction can get here. Marasco just cannot seem to close up more than the 10th right now that he needs to. You see them slipstream training, trying to follow Mark Arthur's dropped a little bit in the second pack to close.
Yeah, trying to use Mark Arthur as a pick just to try to get some draft to pull up next to this lead pack. And as we see the snake form go down and come back up, they're just trying to find a way to get around D's right now.
Here's the pack difference to the leader. That gap's going down. It was more than 2 seconds. All of a sudden, it's down to 1.6, 1.7 seconds and closing. They picked up a big draft off of Arthur.
I was about to say, they're right on the back bumper of Arthur, as you can see. Look at the advantage they got. Unbelievable.
So all of them try and figure out where they can make a move here. In the draft now, within a second, Kleinsman and Butcher Benjamin have now gotten in the slipstream of this pack. So this group is now gaining numbers. Keep in mind, they're about equal on tire difference. The only driver who's fallen out fully from the pack in contention, John Perkins, his overcut didn't work out. He's now losing 3 to 4 tenths a lap to the leaders.
Yeah, losing a big gap, but man, it is getting dark out here at Michigan for sure.
Big cloud to close down the track temperature. A lot more grip going to be coming in. Chris Carroll tries to streak his way to the inside. Carroll gets down, gets nearly to the fender, scrapes the wall.
How did they not wreck right here?
A little bit of a sketchy play there. Carroll still lives on. Under 12 laps to go. Still, though, will Carroll be able to at least get second? He seems to have a little bit more pace right now. 1 lap fresher tires. He's got the chance to maybe go for the lead here, too. He goes to the inside of D's. 11 to go at the stripe. Carroll, launch out of a cannon, takes the point at the stripe.
Yeah, and the bad thing is he doesn't have his teammate, but now here comes Hunter Lagoons. Gets into the slipstream of his teammate, trying to pull up to the back bumper of Carroll to help him. Oh, how did those cars not go around with the side, with the loose?
Bit of contact there. Here comes Lagoons. Carroll goes for a huge send. A slider parks it in front. Butcher Benjamin's flown out. Here comes Marasco with a run outside. 10 to go.
Yeah, and we just saw the intensity as we saw that camera shake. It is getting the pandemonium. It is pandemonium on the track right now, Justin.
Yeah, all sorts of sends right now late. Lagoons going for it on D's, moves up to third. Zooming on by as well, the 59 of Kleinsmith. Matthew Kleinsmith's had a really rough stretch of races for much of the season. Started off strong, it's gone quiet as of the past few months. How big would it be for him to get a run? He's looking for his 5th top 5 of the season here.
Yeah, Kleinsmith's done a great job. Doesn't like qualifying, but does a great job in these races. As now we see Lagoons move into the number 2 spot. Oh man, how did he slide it in front of him?
Lagoons now looking for a charge. Lagoons has been quick all season, yet to get a win in 2025. Will tonight be the time he breaks through for one? 8 to go as D scrapes the wall.
Yeah, D's hits the wall down. He's right into the slipstream as he's going to get around Kleinschmidt. Now D's trying to get to, had to back out, way out, trying to get up to Marasco. But just trying to get enough draft to make a slingshot move and push him past the 1 for sure.
So, 7 to go. They are catching up the lap cars. Dalton Kilroy's had a horrific night tonight in 10th. Mike Massengill, who did not qualify to start off the night, running 11th. Traffic so far hasn't played a huge factor in it outside of helping up the second pack to close. We'll see where the traffic plays a factor this time.
Yeah, we'll see how they get around these lap cars. It'll be interesting to see, especially with these 2 Pit Lizard performance cars working together. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, he's right up on the corner panel, Justin.
Yeah, right there to the door. Trying to find a way to push forward, coming to 6 to go. You can almost feel the tension starting to build up. Lagoon's trying to think about a way to plot and plan. Carroll, we know, is really good on carrying speed in the corners, though. It's going to be hard to get the run unless the 97 slips up.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering how Lagoons can make this run. Because Carroll, right there, you know, he's going to try to break his draft. As we see right here, Lagoons just trying to see what he can do. I mean, that's just got to be, you know, it's your teammate. You don't want to wreck him, but you want to get that first win, and you're so close. Just like we saw at New Hampshire. Can Lagoons get it done?
Here's an hour peak. Marasco a bit high. Doesn't get to the wall. Less than 5 laps to go.
Here comes Kleinschmidt.
Kleinschmidt trying to go for a send to the inside. Can he disrupt things? Get himself maybe into the podium spots? Talked about him. He hasn't had top 5 since the spring. Now he slips to 4th at least with 4 laps to go. Draft officially engaged from the lappers. And Carroll is following them.
Right there, Hunter Lagoons following in his teammates' tracks, just trying to find a way to get around Chris Carroll. Oh, that was interesting. So Lagoon stayed behind Massengill for a little bit longer than Carroll did, trying to get the draft to get enough to get a slingshot move, but just couldn't get it done.
3 to go. 3 wide with lap traffic back there. Kleinsmith trying to crowd up the 20. We've seen troubles with the 20 into the corner that way earlier. This time able to slip through. Kilroy stays up high side also. Top 2 have built a buffer though, with 2.5 laps to go. Lagoons looks to dig.
Lagoons just trying to make a way, trying to find a way around the 97. It's going to take a lot for him to get there. Maybe Marasco will go with him. Who knows?
It could be interesting, to say the least, how things could be sent here. 2 laps to go from Michigan. Lagoons again goes to the bumper. Again, a wiggle for Carroll on the bump. Yet again, a push away by the 97. That buffer's been hard to close up fully down the straightaways. Kleinsmith watches behind Marasco. Coming up to the white flag this time by Lagoons, trying the high side, see if that changes his complexion.
Not enough to close it off. I mean, he's right there, just cannot get alongside of him.
White flag is out. Final time around for Michigan. The last chance to try and take it away from Carroll. Carroll has won 5 times this season. He looks to try and start with a huge spark for the round of 8. Side by side for third. Lagoons needs to go for a send if he wants it. Lagoons takes it to the inside. He's trying. He gets to the door. Numbers. He's going to get to the fender. Nearly turns Chris Carroll. Side by side, a block on Marasco. Side by side, it's Lagoons who wins it at Michigan. How about that? Lagoons hits his teammate and nearly turns him around off of Ford and steals it.
Wow. Wow. Congrats to that young man. First win, unbelievable job.
First checker flag for the 27 is set. Chris Carroll streaking in front of Lagoons on the celebration here. 5/1000ths of a second was the difference maker. And it looks like still respect amongst the two of them. They will burn out together here. And for some reason, Ty Marasco's trying to join in.
He's like, hey, buddy.
That's an MFRD car that's trying to join on the fun. Well, the dual burnout is not working at all. They're busy destroying the race cars. They're going to have a long way to fix these cars up for the next race on 2 Miler with all the front end damage they just added. Look at the slow-mo. It was that close.
Wow. What a race, Justin. What a race. What a way to kick off the round of 8. Oh, my gosh.
Let's take a look at your unofficial race results here tonight. As in the end, it's Lagoons over Carroll. 5/1000ths the difference. Marasco, Kleinsman, and D's the top 5, with Butcher Benjamin down in 6th. Perkins, Zimmerman, Arthur, and Kilrow, your top 10 tonight.
Yeah, and then we're going to find in 11th, Mike Massengill, 12th, Nicholas Moody, 13th, Chris Mackey, 14th, Cody Gibson, 15th, Larry Bell, 16th, Kyle Wellman, 17th, Trevor Harmon, 18th, Aaron Bockover, 19th, William Bruden, and 20th, Tanner Marr.
That's a look top to bottom at the running order here tonight. In the end, the 27, Hunter Lagoons, first win of the season, finally breaks through. Hunter, you get a bit physical for the win, but you visit victory lane. How does it feel to win in a photo finish with your teammate?
Man, it feels good. Finally got him. First VPL win, but feels great. I wish I would have been able to do it or get him without having to hit him, but I didn't. Like I said, I didn't mean for me to hit him. I just started to push tight when I got to his inside, and I was just trying to get a side draft. I definitely did not mean to hit him, but feels pretty good. Say that. Finally getting it done.
How would you describe trying to get the runs tonight in the draft package to be able to get the chances you did here this evening in the first place?
Yeah, it felt like you had to be on the top. Like, if you got out of line or moved to the bottom, you're just going to get freight trained, right? You had to be, I mean, like in the corners you could move around, but as long as you could get, up to the top, getting on and into the straightaways, you would be pretty good, right? So, just, holding that line and making sure you had the momentum, basically.
So with that being said here, still 2 more races to score points to be able to try and move on for a championship. How do you feel about concrete? Because Nashville's next.
Sounds like Chris Carroll is going to have a field day with that. Just one thing, I don't know, it's all right, I guess. I run on anything, right? So.
Gotcha on that one. Well, on that note, you're now just 1 point behind Chris Carroll for the top spot in the point standings right now for the round of 8. Anyone that want to give a shout out here tonight?
I want to thank you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast. I want to thank, Mark Arthur and all the admins over here that put on a great platform for us to race on. I want to thank Chris Carroll, Pit Lizard Performance, Tanner Marr, Five Kings. Thank USA Firearms, Brian Zimmerman, Larry Bell. I have old people over there helping week in and week out.
Congratulations on the win tonight, your first of the season.
Yep, thank you.
Hunter Lagoons gets it done over Chris Carroll. Chris Carroll himself, see how the flip of the coin is Emmett Crow's with him.
Chris Carroll, man, talk about coming up just a little short, but I mean, it's got to be a good feeling seeing that 27, your teammate in victory lane.
I'm happy for Hunter. I'm happy. I want the career win, but, that's his first one. First one's always special, and he didn't wreck me to get it. When you get close to the car like that, it pulls you into the guy on the outside, and he got in the gas. He's trying to win too, and super happy for him. Super happy for Pit Lizard finishing 1-2, and you hate to lose him like that, but you got one in the bank when you need it.
Yeah, talk about this. We go back to New Hampshire. You were able to get him at New Hampshire, but this time he is able to get you. How you feeling as we go over to the concrete of Nashville Super Speedway?
Well, we've done a good job of racing together. At New Hampshire, we raced as much as we could, not to bring the rest of the field into it, and we did the same thing here. He let me in about 15 times tonight, Emmett. When I try and move, it was sure nice to have a teammate to let you in there. And I like that track. I like Nashville a lot. It's one of the places that I've always felt comfortable at, and got to keep the car clean and keep my teammates in it here too, and we'll see what we can do going forward and trying to get into the Final Four there.
All right, and before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I always got to shout out Brian Zimmerman. Hate his night tonight. He had a tough one. Some of the regular culprits that do it got him, and hate it for Tanner Marr. Tanner Marr is another guy that got me into all this stuff. If it wasn't for Tanner Marr, I wouldn't be having as much fun as I do on the sim, and he gave me the platform to go racing here. Got to thank Ohio Roofing. I always forget them. I got to thank all my friends and family for watching, and everybody that runs this league puts it on, and getting the car count up here at the end of the year is always tough. So appreciate those guys for doing it, and you guys for the broadcast, and all my family and friends that watch.
All right, well, congrats, man. We'll see you in Music City.
Thanks, sir.
So Chris Carroll coming away second tonight here from MIS. Tom Marasco, he ends up finishing in third. So, Ty, you lived up to your nickname in the Discord at No Practice, but you still showed some speed late in the race. How was it trying to learn this car after not putting up practice, according to the timesheets?
Well, sorry, I just missed that. It wasn't totally connected, so I caught the end of that. What you were saying?
So I was just saying, how was it trying to learn this car as the night went on after we've seen you have to work from the back or from the mid pack?
I kind of knew how the car was going to work a little bit. In the early runs, I was just saving a set of tires, so I kind of ran towards the back a little bit, and then it's just mayhem. It's crazy. But yeah, it's just crazy. You gotta take the runs, and if you can't clear the guy, you're going to the back. So you gotta make sure when you dive down to make a move, you gotta make sure you clear him, because otherwise you're gonna lose 4 or 5 spots.
Yeah. How would you describe what was going through your mind in the closing stages there as you tried to position yourself for the conversation for the win?
Yeah, I tried to position myself pretty good there in third. Thought I would maybe get a nice run. I tried to back up to the 59 and turn 1 coming out of 2, but he decided to kind of go side by side with me. And after I knew that, I was like, really? Like, I knew I didn't have much of a move after that. I needed them to wreck. So I was trying to back it up, get the run. Hopefully he'd push me down the back, and then I'd be able to just dive it on in there and hold it and clear them both. But it didn't happen, and then they almost got into it, or they did get into it, and thought I'd have a chance, possibly slip by, but Hunter closed the door pretty quickly.
So how do you feel about Nashville coming up?
Nashville, I enjoy Nashville. I don't know how it is going to be in this car, but ready to be done with the car. But it's I look forward to it. It's one of my better tracks. And this one's my better track too. This is a home track for me, so coming out on top or coming out in third is pretty good for me.
Any shows you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, I like to thank MFRD, all the guys, Taylor, Dalton, Brian. Good showing tonight, and then just you guys in the booth, and Mark, and Ohio Indiana Roofing, and all them, and what they all do, and all the people that treat us well in this league. And we're getting towards the end, and I look forward to next season.
Congratulations on the podium tonight, Ty.
Yep, thank you.
Tom Rasko gets third place here this evening. I'd like to thank the entire top 3 for speaking with us during post-race coverage here on Green Flag TV. Your final thoughts tonight, Em, as we get ready for Nashville Super Speedway when we go racing next Sunday.
Hold up a second. I gotta catch my breath. Wow. One word. Wow. What a race. From top to bottom, we saw that crazy first stage. Second stage was even more crazy, and then what a way to end it with Hunter Lagoons getting his first career win. Congrats to that young man, and I'm ready to get to Music City, Justin.
So we'll see what happens at 7:30 on October 26th. Be sure to tune in here on Green Flag TV. But on that note, it's time to say goodbye. Wake, thank you for tuning in for tonight's coverage of Blazing Pedals and its ARCA Series. For my co-announcer, Emma Crow, for Dustin Ollis, our producer, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. See you next time we go to Music City.